How does a radical carbohydrate hater transform into a grain lover? That's what my family learned one unusual Saturday morning. My dad was the carb hater. He had read somewhere that carbohydrates were the cause and source of all modern day problems. For example, why are the polar ice caps melting? It's because of spaghetti. Why is there a growing divide between the rich and the poor? Because there's too much corn syrup in everything we drink. Why are there terrorists that want to attack our country? This is a complex issue that involves complex carbs. Because of my dad's war on carbohydrates, he has adopted a pseudo-low-carb diet and embraced all things meat. In particular, he developed a love affair with the hamburger patty. Each of his meals consisted of a couple burger patties, occasionally complemented with a leaf of lettuce or a slice of cheese, or maybe a slice of tomato. And then one day, we were visited by the odd little blue man that faded Saturday morning. He came tugging along a blue ice chest on wheels and knocking on our door. Behold, if you can, the most delicious burger patty known to man. Made of rich Japanese cobalt beef and infused with rare blue truffle leaf. Inside stuffed with melty blue rotted cheese and complemented with some blue John mustard, if you please. The most amazing burger patty here on earth. Just one bite, and you'll feel the mirth. Yeah! My dad was inclined to distrust door-to-door salesmen, and that didn't even begin to touch on all the red flags set off by a rhyming smurf selling blue burgers out of an ice chest. But for some reason, his common sense failed him that day, and he decided to purchase a package of patties. Lunchtime was not for several hours, but he decided to throw 4 patties onto the skillet anyway, just for everyone to try. And before long, an intensely delicious waft, aromatic waft, wafted through the house as the patties cooked, and before long, they were ready, placed on a serving tray, ready to eat. My dad took one bite, and his eyes lit up. This is delicious! Seconds later, he had scarfed down the remainder of the patty and was already grabbing for the second. My sister eyed him, the raised eyebrow. She was examining the packaging, looking for its ingredients, and started reading something that was written on it. A serving of grains keeps the blues away. 1 burger and blue comes into play. 2 to 3 patties and you're on your way to 4 patties when there'll be blue to stay. Hee 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 ha. Dad, I don't think you should be eating this. But before she even finished her sentence, Dad was already madly scarfing down his next patty and moving on to the third. I snatched the plate from the table, dumped the remnants on the floor, and smushed them with one dramatic stomp. Dad, look at yourself. My dad seemed to snap out of a trance, took one look at his glowing blue hands, and shrieked, "I'm blue! What do I do?" His hair looked like the latest blue hair trend out of Japan, and his body had started to shrink. Also, his skin was radiating blue light like a neon light out of Vegas. My sister wondered aloud, serving of grain keeps the blues away. She grabbed a package of quinoa from the kitchen cabinet and shoved it at my dad. Sis, I interjected, I believe those are technically not grains. They are gluten-free super seeds. My sister glared at me and shouted, "Shut up and help." I sped to the kitchen, found a loaf of bread, and ran back to give it to my dad. As he munched on a slice of bread, the glowing from his skin gradually subsided, his hair darkened, and his size gradually began to grow back to regular size. My dad ended up finishing the entire loaf of bread, as well as a pot of rice, a container of oatmeal, several ears of corn, and some leftover tortillas we had in the kitchen, and every other grain that he could find in the kitchen. By the end of the day, he had returned back to his regular self, save for one persistent symptom. Declared my dad, "Thanks to these grains, I'm again me, and from the blue curse, I've been free." I wasn't thinking this morning when I answered the door. Thank goodness my son threw the patties to the floor. From now on, I embrace the grain, and it's the meat from which I refrain. And that, folks, is how a radical low-carb meat eater transforms into rice chomping, bread munching, pasta slurping, corn gnawing, and word rhyming grain lover. Mr. Toastmaster.